Hello YouTube, it's me TFR Wilderness and welcome to my channel and welcome to review number 199. Yes, this is the last review I'll be doing before my 200th review, which will be my 500 subs review, which will be coming up next week. And so, I've got another Korean toy. This is the second of the Tobot V Season 2 Wave 2 figures that I picked up recently. And did a review on this guy on Classic last week. So now we're going to look at the other figure that came out in the same wave. Now, I will say, I didn't mention it in the last video, but I'm going to mention it in this video. I bought these figures from my mate, Mr. Soon, or Soon1 Lee, off eBay. Now, I've been buying, he's like my main plastic crack, my Korean plastic crack dealer. I've been buying stuff from him for the last couple of years, but obviously, because of Brexit back in February, I stopped buying international packages because I was worried it was going to screw up the UK Customs Union. And then in March, the COVID lockdown started, and the whole world got in the midst of the COVID crisis. And I was reluctant to buy any international parcels because of that, because I was worried about cross contamination from international parcels coming from the Far East, all covered in COVID cooties. So that was my worry. And so I stopped buying Korean toys for a number of months. And then a couple of months ago, I sort of noticed that things were starting to get back to normal, if you can say that. I mean, obviously, we're now descending back into sort of COVID wave 2. So things is going backwards again. But things did sort of improve, and I decided I'm going to start, looking at buying, Korean toys again. Now, unfortunately, my mate Mr. Soon, I assume he'd had because other people did the same thing. Basically, they stopped buying figures because of COVID, and I think he had a massive loss of orders and downturn in business, and he was losing money. So, to counteract this, he introduced a shipping charge. Now, previously, Mr. Soon had been free shipping on all his items, but then all of a sudden, he just decided, right, I'm going to start charging shipping. And his initial shipping charge was nearly 20 quid. It was £19, 20 something or other. And when I buy a figure off eBay, I always, if there's a shipping charge, I always add the cost of the shipping charge to the value of the figure, because when you're doing that PayPal payment, it's one payment. You don't make two separate payments, one for the item and one for the shipping. Though if you're buying something from America via the global shipping program, you do kind of do that. But that's neither here nor there. So I always add it to the cost of the figure. And by him adding this nearly £20 sort of shipping surcharge to his figures, it just made all the figures that he was selling expensive. And he slapped it on everything in his shop. Everything on his eBay shop got this £20. So to me, he just priced himself out of the market. And I just couldn't buy anything from him because he was just way too expensive. So I thought, well, that's it. That's me and Mr. Soon done. I can't buy from him anymore because he's too expensive. Anyway, move the clock forward a couple of months. I mean, last month I had a really good month where a lot of my international parcels came in more or less on time. And I decided, let's pull the trigger on some KTRTs. And I was looking at Mr. Soon again, and he had reduced his shipping price to round about, he gradually reduced it. I mean, he was now asking around about £7 something for the shipping, £7.60, and I thought, well, that's doable, that's reasonable, I can live with that, provided the price of the figure's not too expensive. And Mr. Soon, he's easily probably the most prolific eBay seller for Korean toys on eBay. He's like the main man to go to. And there are competitors, there are other sellers who are selling this stuff, but Mr. Soon's prices are always a couple of quid cheaper than the competition. So that's one of the main reasons why I went to him. Though, I bought so much stuff from him, he was like my preferred choice of eBay sellers. And and I noticed obviously the wave to Tobot V Season 2 figures had come out. And he was selling them individually. But then he offered them up as a 2-pack, a 2-for-1 deal. where you got when I say 2 for 1, 2 for 1 purchase, but the 2 figures plus a single combined shipping charge, and the shipping charge was his normal, £7, whatever it was. So when I did the maths, looked at the overall price for these 2 figures, it was actually pretty reasonable. In fact, I got the 2 figures under 50 quid each. So the whole deal came to 90 something, was it 94, 96 quid or whatever it was. It was well under 100 quid. And I thought, well, okay, I can do that. So I placed an order with Mr. Soon. Obviously, due to COVID shipping delays, it took twice as long to deliver than it usually does when I buy stuff from Mr. Soon. Mr. Soon used to take around about sort of 10 to 12 days. And this one took like 24, 25 days, something like that. Or was it 26? Anyway, it was well over double the usual sort of shipping speed. But, that's COVID delays for you. So, you can easily account for that. And, so they arrived and, I've done a review on one. Here's the review on the other one. So today I will be doing the review of Tobot V Season 2 Lightning. Now, he's the second figure from this sort of Wave 2 subline. He also has the sort of the squat, the chibi intermediate mode as well. But this is his alt mode, and as you can see, it's a futuristic looking electric car, kind of like a smart car in effect. But it's a futuristic EV vehicle. And Lightning's gimmick, he's all about electric powered cars, but when he transforms into his full robot mode, he's kind of like they call him like the Techno Master. He's into technology, but he's also into techno music. He's all about techno music. So he's pretty funny in that respect, but he's got a very sort of very swish futuristic alt mode. He's got all the blue and the white and the yellow, and it's got large wheels. Does roll particularly well. Obviously, packaging comes in a similar box to Classic, but obviously he's got slightly different colour accents on it. It's got sort of like the purple and the blue, and then you've got pictures of the figure on the front, and then you've got stuff on the side, more product shots on the back. And then all the information on the bottom that Mr. KR Brickbot likes to go into. So there's that. Now, he does come with a few accessories. Comes with instructions, obviously. Comes with his tow key, which is like a little sort of like a little battery pack. And then he has this cardboard base thing. Now, Studio Series come with like a cardboard sort of backdrop you can stick them on. Kind of similar to that. Now, I've noticed that Tobot V have been doing these sort of things. Didn't get one with Classic, but you did get one with this guy, and I think the Wave 1 figures came with them. I can't remember. I haven't got any of the Wave 1 figures yet, but it comes with a cardboard base, so you can stand your figure on it if you so want. It's just a thing. And then obviously the figure. The toe key has got a pegging port on the top and a little eye peg. So, hang on. Which way around does it go? That way. So it plugs on like that, and it can sort of fold out whichever way you want. And it has these little sort of lightning bolt things that fold round like so. I don't know whether there's some sort of like a zap cannon that he's got where he can shoot electricity bolts out of it. I don't know, but I mean, if it's supposed to be, if his Toki's supposed to be some sort of fancy battery, then yeah, technically he could do that. But anyway, it's a thing. It goes onto there, and you can take it off, and then you've got his alt mode. Now, not much more you can say about the alt mode. It's a very swish-looking, electric vehicle from the future. Like I said, it rolls very well. It's very, very bright, very colourful. It's got some typical sort of, modern futuristic, you know, electric car vehicle colours. And he does have this thing at the front. Now that is his head sculpt, so he has got visible head sculpt in a way. So his head's sort of like sticking out the front of the vehicle mode, but you can't really see much underneath. But it's there. I'm just making a point of it for later. So yeah, now obviously this guy has a squat mode, an intermediate mode, just like Classic. This guy's is a little bit more successful and a little easier to get to. So you can unplug the arms. Like so. Then you sort of fold that. Now you can slide the cockpit section up a little bit, and then you split the legs. And we're nearly there. And then you just flip this little panel up, and there's his head, his face sculpt, and that's his chibi mode, or his squat mode, or his super deformed, you know, little mode. That's it. So you kind of got the car. You just sort of fold the front wings out and the rear quarters back a little bit, and separate each other out, and flip that panel round. And there you go. Now, that's him. Now, he does have a face here, like a computerized sort of smiley face. If you look at him on the box, you can see he's got like a frowny face there. So it's like a computer, a simple sort of eyes and a mouth, sort of like computer face that he puts there. Now they have got a face moulded in here, but it's difficult to make it out against the black plastic. It has got this thing whereby you click that and you can see the eyes sort of move, but I wish they'd have picked that out a little better. I mean, this was a figure that would definitely have benefited from some LEDs, some little light up source behind there to light up his computer face. Articulation, the arms do go round. The arms are basically folded up, so he's got, he's got an elbow, but the arms are he's got his arms like this. His arms are sort of like that, they're sort of folded back. And now he does have, he doesn't. He doesn't have a waist joint because it's all locked up at the back. But he has got legs that move backwards and forwards, and they will sort of split out a little bit, though there's clearance issues around the back. So he has got a little bit of motion on the feet, a little bit of motion on the arms. That's about all you get with this mode. It looks more like a robot, like a little chunky, sort of chibi robot, and it looks pretty cool. Looks better than Classic's sort of squat mode, a lot better. But again, it's neither here nor there. I mean, it doesn't need this. It's superfluous. It's not as bad as the Classic's one. It's sort of okay, but yeah, don't need it. Don't need it. It's a thing that they did, but like I said, this gimmick that they did with the Wave 2 figures, they've kind of moved on now to the Wave 3 figures, and they've sort of abandoned this thing. So it was a short-lived gimmick. They tried it once, and then they've moved on now. So let's be thankful that only 2 of the figures that they've done were mauled by this gimmick. Anyway, so again, this guy has an extension mode. So the kid does the thing, pew, launches the toe key, and it zooms along, and so little panel comes down, to transform him into his extension mode. You flip down this little panel, and then you plug in the toe key when the arms move out of the way. Plug in the toe key, and then the head pops up. There he goes. Right, so the arms. You fold the arms out fully, and the legs, you open this panel, and then you fold the leg out again. Fold the leg out again, go around the back, shut these panels, and you're pretty much done. There's Lightning in his extension mode, or his full robot mode. Yeah. He looks pretty cool. Again, it's got all those sort of futuristic white, yellow, blue, sort of flashy colours. Looks very futuristic robot. He's got quite a interesting head sculpt. He's got like a big visor with a, like a, sound wave sort of zapped across it. It's difficult to see, but and again, he's got a fair bit of weight. He's pretty solid. Build quality is really good on him. Nice paint apps, good colours, decent build quality. Yeah, he's really cool. Very, very chunky. Do a size comparison with Classic. Now, obviously, he's a little bit shorter than Classic. Classic's quite large, and I've just remembered something I didn't do in my Classic review. I didn't do the size comparison against a Leader Class Combiner Wars figure. So there he is next to Combiner Wars Megs. And Lightning, again, a little bit shorter, but, he is what he is. Articulation, he has got a ball jointed head, though it's on this spring-loaded thing that pops up, and it's kind of limited. He's got these sort of shoulder pieces either side that restrict the motion of his head. Shoulders go round. They only go up a little bit, as you can see, and obviously it's then hitting the toe key and his shoulder pieces. Right, elbows. Again, he's got like a really tight elbow bend, but that's generally due to the the squat mode transformation. No bicep swivels. Now he does have a waist joint, very ratchety waist joints. Now the backpack, you can sort of slide it up and down one click. If you slide it down, then it restricts the motion of the backpack, and if you try to move it, it pops off. So it does just like a big clippy runner on the back. So you want to make sure that's slid up one notch, so that it then frees up the waist joint. Hips. Yeah, he does a good spread, reasonable spread. No, I mean obviously the legs, soft ratchet, can go backwards and forwards. Has no thigh swivels, and now the knees are kind of restricted on this guy. Now they only go about that far normally, but if you pull out that panel, they go all the way back. So yeah, this cover panel on the back of the leg gets in the way of his knee articulation, but you can move it if you want to go for an extra extreme sort of knee articulation. Nothing at the feet, solid feet. They have nice wide flat thing, so he does stand up very well, and obviously he's got that thing where they're angled at a neutral A stance. So he does all that stuff. Now the toe key, I mean I assume when he's in extension mode the toe key is always attached to his chest like that. He doesn't really have any ports to plug extra things in. He doesn't come with any extra accessories, not like Classic did. He's alright. He's very good. He's heavy, he's solid. He's a pretty good little figure. He does have his merits over Classic. I mean, the alt mode, the intermediate mode, the squat mode is better on this than it is on Classic. But I much prefer the aesthetic on Classic's extension robot mode and his alt mode. He just looks so much better. So if I had to have a preference between these two, I would say go for Classic rather than Lightning. Because not there's anything wrong with Lightning. He's a decent enough figure in his own merit, but Classic's just got so much more going for him, if that's such a thing. So if you've got a choice between these two figures, I would go for Classic. But Lightning's all right. He's okay. He's pretty solid Tobot figure. Can't really complain at the build quality or the design or the painting aesthetic on it. It looks really cool. Slightly hampered articulation in a few areas, but that's just usual for a Korean toy, isn't it? They don't come with the extra joints for the bicep swivels or the thigh swivels, though they do have waist joints, which is an improvement. So that's that. That's my review of this guy, and this is the end of review 199. So the next review is going to be my 200th review, and it's going to be my 500 subs review as well. So it's going to be a double thing. Don't get too excited. The figure I'm going to be reviewing next is a Platinum Reissue G1 Autobot cassette figure. So yeah, it's only a little dude. And he's one of my centenary bots, yes. But I will get into all that in the actual review itself. I will explain the reasons why he is my bot 500 when there was 4 other figures in the box set that he came in that could have been my bot 500 if I'd have done things differently. So that's that. I've been TFL Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little review. I've finally got these reviews, the run up to review 200 out of the way. So the next one you'll be seeing, like I said, is my review 200 500 subs review. So look forward to that, and I'll catch you next time. Ta-da.